The 2020 NFL draft class has played through 2 years of their careers, and with the video of picks 1 through 16 being uploaded early on Sunday morning, there's no need for a formal introduction other than saying, if you like this video, the link for that will be in the bio. So without further ado, let's dive right into picks 17 through 32. 32 was Clyde Edwards, a lair to the Kansas City Chiefs, and inevitably in that offense of all offenses, you will be outshined by Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek, and Travis, and not surprisingly, CEH has. But he's also been disappointing as a former first-round pick, as in 2 seasons, he has just 1,300 rushing yards and an additional 400 receiving yards. The Chiefs didn't draft him with the intention of being part of a running back committee. They wanted him to be the guy and not have to worry about this position, and to have a good, cheaper running back as they transition into the thick of the Patrick Mahomes contract, and it hasn't exactly worked out that way. A C- grade through 2 years. 31 was Vikings corner Jeff Gladney, and this is a pick that's tough to give a definitive final grade because of the off-the-field situation. Gladney was okay in his rookie year, nothing spectacular, but was and is in an ongoing legal issue that involved striking his girlfriend. And you can't honestly say to Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman, hey, you guys should have saw this coming. That's not fair to them, and because of that, this grade is incomplete. Corner Noah Igbinoghene was the selection prior to Gladney, so back-to-back corners, and through 2 seasons he has 19 total tackles and only played in 7 games in 2021, while playing a total of 78 defensive snaps for the entire year. There were games he played special teams only, and even then Igbinoghene is not a great special teams player. The only thing that may save him is his age, as he was drafted young and will turn 23 late in this upcoming season. For comparison, he is a year and a half younger than Kenny Pickett, the current draft prospect from Pitt, and Noah is, as we said, entering year 3. For now though, given he has been a healthy scratch at times, Noah through 2 years is an F. Isaiah Wilson, the big man from Georgia, was the Titans' first-round selection. For anyone wondering, I am playing a random Titans play right now, so he's not actually on the field during this play, as Wilson played a total of 3 career snaps before his release. To me, Wilson represents everything in a draft bust, from a lack of work ethic to prioritizing things over his NFL career, like a rap career before even playing a snap in the NFL, and everything in between. He also had several off-the-field issues, including a 140-mile-per-hour police car chase. I certainly think he is in the conversation for biggest draft bust in NFL history, given he played 3 snaps in what were kneel-downs for the Titans at the end of a game. For Ryan Leaf and Jamarcus Russell, at least they threw a couple of touchdowns, right? This is an easy F-. Patrick Queen went to Baltimore, and through 2 years, Queen has over 200 tackles, 5 sacks, a few forced fumbles, and even a defensive touchdown. He is a rock-solid linebacker that will probably be there for some time, and I say probably because it may not make sense from a contract standpoint for Baltimore, see CJ Mosley for example, but Queen is a good, solid player. Not a franchise-changing, elite, multiple first-time All-Pro and his future player, but there's nothing wrong with that either, because simply put, not every player is that. And not to say Patrick can't become that, because he is quite young. He's only going to be 23 in his 3rd season, so who knows how high his ceiling is. For a late first-round linebacker, I feel like this is about what you would expect, a B+ grade through 2 years. Jordan Brooks went to Seattle before Queen to Baltimore, and everyone was surprised, myself included, because of Queen being the consensus at the time superior prospect to Jordan. However, and you don't hear this often with Seattle, but their draft pick, and more so their first-round draft pick, turned out phenomenal. Brooks had an insane second season and led the NFL in tackles, and proved at minimum myself and several others wrong that he was worth the first-round pick. I am eager to see how he performs in year 3, and he has outproduced the expectations I had for him entering the NFL draft process a couple of years ago. An A grade for Jordan. We had back-to-back Jordans, as the Packers selection was quarterback Jordan Love, and Love was a guy who didn't play at all in year 1, not even a kneel down after the Packers kicked the shit out of somebody during one of Aaron Rodgers' MVP campaigns. He has only had 1 career start and played the second half of a game against the Lions and has 62 career passing attempts. Not surprisingly, the Packers lost with a backup quarterback on the road in Arrowhead of all places. I don't think it's fair to Jordan Love to grade him again on 62 career attempts, and through 2 seasons it is incomplete. We are now at pick 25, which was Brandon Aiyuk, and the 49ers traded with the Vikings to come up to get this pick. And with Aiyuk, you have a receiver who, through 2 seasons, has 1,500 career receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, and just had a season with over 800. That's certainly not bad, especially when you factor in the year Deebo Samuel had, the run-heavy offense they're in, and they also have George Kittle to take some of those targets away from Aiyuk away as well. Naturally, his numbers are not going to look as good, and that has to factor into the grade. Aiyuk's certainly not a bad receiver by any means, but he's not a Justin Jefferson star either, and to be fair, no one else is from this class, so receiver grades are in a lot of ways skewed because of that. But through 2 years, Aiyuk has been solid, not a complete game-changing player, and we give him a B. Cesar Ruiz to the New Orleans Saints was supposed to be a plug-and-play player for the next decade. Ruiz has not performed up to the expectations the Saints would have liked, and that's kind of putting it kindly. He's not like Isaiah Wilson, so he's not, an all-time draft bust, but he has been disappointing through 2 years. And there's not a lot to say about an underwhelming first-round offensive lineman. A C- grade through 2 years for Cesar. Kenneth Murray to the Chargers was the first true linebacker of the draft taken, and he had a good rookie year, but most certainly, for a variety of reasons, followed it up with a sophomore slump. He was moved to be an edge rusher late in the year, which can signal either the Chargers, and I hate to toss this comp around because of who he is, but there's really no other comps than Micah Parsons light because of what he's done with the versatility. But in 2021, Kenneth had an injury and moved a position after leading the team in tackles in his rookie season. Growing pains aren't limited to just a rookie season, and like with several other players in this class, Kenneth is young and will be just 23 at the start of next season. For now, a C+ grade through 2 years. For reference where we are in the video, we are now at pick 22, and Justin Jefferson to the Minnesota Vikings was the selection. What more could you ask for through 2 years? He has more receiving yards than any player ever through 2 years of an NFL player's career, and if he stays healthy and has Kirk throw to him or potentially an even better quarterback, it's really not an exaggeration to say Justin could be over 10,000 career receiving yards, as remember, he is already over 3,000. As soon as the next team's first-round pick, we haven't discussed yet, did not take Jefferson, Minnesota sprinted to the podium, or since it was during peak COVID and quarantine, they typed or called in as fast as they could to Roger Goodell, and Justin has proven why they did so. A+. And for every positive there is about Justin Jefferson, it is nearly the opposite for Jalen Reagor, and I really do feel bad for him personally. Having to go up against someone who you should have never been drafted ahead of and who Eagles fans thought they were for sure getting in Justin Jefferson, to have a player who has 695 career yards is, well, bad. There's also been times where Jalen gets on social media and discusses or says whatever he's feeling, and not in a good way, and the Eagles drafted a receiver the following year again in the first round, and are currently rumored to go after someone like Calvin Ridley with one of their 3 first-round picks. Again, that's a rumor, but through 2 years, Reagor gets an F. K'Lavon Chaisson and Josh Allen were supposed to dominate or at least be a very good duo for quite a while, and what we have received from K'Lavon has been nothing short of disappointing. And to be fair to him, or maybe at least justify, the whole team has. And with what the Jags franchise has been through for the past 2 years with the Urban Meyer reality TV show and Trent Baalke and Tim Tebow, this selection in a lot of ways gets swept under the rug and forgotten about. Chaisson has 13 quarterback hits over 2 years, which isn't good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's fair to put him in the F grade category, so we give this grade a hard D. Raiders fans had a very forgettable 2020 first round, and that's putting it kindly. Damon Arnette was the selection, and forget the off-the-field bullshit for a minute. This should have never been the selection. It's not exaggerating to say this would be equivalent of taking Davis Mills last year above Zach Wilson or even Trey Lance at number 2 or 3 overall, or maybe you want to say Kellen Mond because Mills really didn't have a bad rookie season. My point is Arnette was a prospect hovering around the 100 area in terms of his draft ranking, and they took him 19 overall. The ultimate cherry on top of this disastrous selection was him ending his Raiders career by posting a video of him waving a gun not long after the Henry Ruggs incident. This is a textbook definition of an F draft grade. Austin Jackson, the offensive lineman from USC, went to Miami as this was a team that had 3 first-round selections, and Dolphins fans know how bad Jackson started out his career. He would, not exaggerating, get bullied and put on his rump at times, and was a part of the worst line in the league in 2021. However, he did show improvement by season's end, and there is at this time, a serious belief he can be a starter down there for a while. It is a belief right now, not a confirmed, this guy is going to be an absolute dog for the next 5 to 10 years, and he's an absolute beast in the trenches. And for that reason, Austin Jackson gets a C, though I do believe it will go up a year from now. CeeDee Lamb was the Cowboys' first-round pick, and he had a bit of a slide in his own rights on draft night. He didn't get the 1,000 yards he wanted in his rookie year, which some of that can obviously be attributed to Dak's injury in 2020. Lamb is a great receiver, and wearing number 88 has certainly filled the expectations of wearing that historic number in that franchise, and will continue to do so. The question now is, what grade do you give him, because all signs point to him being a consistent 1,000-yard receiver for a while, but at the same time, Justin Jefferson is in this draft class. And if you want to give Jefferson an A++ because of who he is and what he's done, be my guest. But the Cowboys hit a home run with CD, and this is an A+ selection 2 years later. And with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Now is the time I ask you to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, please be safe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and have a great day. Love you guys.